Good evening, everyone. It's Hanifa Menon from hearthealthbrainhealth.com, encouraging healthy grieving and mindful actions. Today, my contemplative time has been all about happiness and peace. And I thought, this is something that so many people look forward to trying to attain, right? So I can't have a peaceful mind, or I really want to be happy. So we hear about these things all the time, or at least I do. And maybe sometimes you're aware of that for yourself too. So today I thought I'd talk a little bit about this and try to reflect a new light on it to help you think about it differently. So the first quotation that I came across is by an unknown author, but I really liked it. And it says, happiness, contentment, inner peace. Have you ever gone looking for something only to realize you had it with you the whole time? It's like that. And this is exactly it. So today, I thought I would clarify this a little bit. If we look at things that bring us happiness, you'll probably notice that it's very easy to know that it's related to our senses oftentimes. That is the first awareness of, you know what, I'd love to eat that food again. I'd love to have my favorite dessert. I'd love to have time in that restaurant that I love, or perhaps I'd love to go on that vacation. I'd love to do my favorite sport. I'd love to see my favorite friend or partner. It's that sort of idea that there's always something that's related to the senses. So whether it's something visual, something that you love to smell, something you love to hear, maybe you want to go to a favorite concert, or maybe you want to eat a favorite meal. So all of these things that are very related to our senses. Now, it's interesting because our senses pick up this idea, right? So even if we're thinking about our favorite meal, we can start salivating, right? We could start, it's very Pavlovian, right? It's this idea of just thinking about that food can make people very excited about, I can't wait, or thinking about seeing your favorite person can get you very excited, it can make your heart flutter, right? So that sort of idea that even just thinking about it. So we see that the mind has a strong role in this, right? And then we know that when we eat a chocolate cake, for example, let's say you love chocolate cake or your favorite meal, when you eat it, it's not the tongue that was looking forward to the taste of it. It's the mind that was thinking about it that then is using the tongue as an organ of perception to taste it. So just like I love hearing this music, but it's still going into our minds of how our minds is perceiving our favorite music, right? Now, things happen where, let's say, one day you're having your favorite meal and there's a huge bug on it, and you don't feel so good, right? So you're probably not going to eat your meal, even though it was your favorite meal. Now there's something associated with it that's not so good. Or you're going on a vacation and it's to your favorite place and you're so excited about it, but you have this huge argument with someone important to you just before you go, and you think, I got to clear my mind because as long as I'm thinking about that, I just can't enjoy this vacation. So this happens about everything that normally brings us happiness, and something can change the exact same experience into something that doesn't bring happiness, right? So then we think that, wow, so what is it that brings happiness? So if it's not specific about it, it's not going to be, any food that is not good because of something that you find in it, or perhaps one day it just doesn't taste the same as what you're used to, but it's not, it was your favorite meal, or maybe it tastes exactly the same, but you had an argument at that time, or you had a distressing thought at the time that you were eating your favorite meal. Somehow it changes the flavor of it, right? And same thing with a concert, that if something happens at a concert or on a vacation where you got an injury, suddenly there isn't as much happiness in it, right? And again, we see that this is related to our mind and our state of mind. And so, what is it that really is happiness? Because if you can't guarantee that, this particular location will always make me happy, and you would see that your favorite location, first time makes you super happy, and the second time pretty happy, but probably not as much as the first time. Same thing with like your favorite food. You could have a whole plate of your favorite food, and when you're done that plate, you have another plate of that favorite food. Oh, you'll enjoy it, but not as much as the first time, right? So that sort of idea. So this awareness of what is it that brings that happiness, And oftentimes you will find that it's a piece of that satisfaction. Now, satisfaction for the mind is in attaining something that it wants or in running away from something that it doesn't want, and that brings temporary satisfaction. What is the eternal satisfaction and happiness is beyond that. It's literally, so when you are satiated, right? So when you've had your favorite meal, you're just happy, right? It's just like, it's something that I wanted, I've got it, and I'm happy, right? And what does that mean? Our mind is no longer thinking about getting it or acquiring it. It's got it. Once it's got it, it feels happy. Yet, what's another time that we know that brings us happiness? A good night's sleep. So, when someone has a good night's sleep, it's not that we were even aware in deep sleep that it's a good night's sleep, but when we wake up, there is this satisfaction about a good night's sleep, right? Same thing about our experiences in life, that this satisfaction of this is good is because there's no thought saying, I want to get this or I want to run from this. It's just, this is good. And it doesn't mean that you have to have the thing, because again, the same things, the same experiences don't always bring happiness, right? So it's this is good feeling. And that is a state of mind that often is beyond our regular thinking minds. And this is why people who enjoy meditation, which I would strongly encourage for everyone, because I certainly do, but it's one of those spaces that the thoughts are not there, right? It's a time of no thought in meditation. And this is the time that people do realize that everything that I've wanted, that happiness, that peace, is right with me. It doesn't need an action, an activity, acquiring something, eating something, doing something. It's about being the pure self, the higher self. And that energy is in all of us if we choose to quiet the mind enough to recognize it and then enjoy what's sometimes called this bliss state. And this idea is, again, something good to remember in terms of, remember in deep sleep, we wake up in the morning and we realize that, wow, we had a really great sleep. And it's such a wonderful feeling to think that I feel rested, right? It's like, it's peaceful. And it's because the mind was not working in that time. This is the same thing that happens in meditation. And this is what I'd love for you all to practice. And of course, if you need any help or guidance, I'm here. I wanted to finish this video with one more quotation. And this one is by Marvin Gaye. And I loved it. It says, if you cannot find peace within yourself, you will never find it anywhere else. If you cannot find peace within yourself, you will never find it anywhere else. And this sounds so normal, right? But how many people say, well, can you just give me some peace for a little while, right? So it's almost like we want it from someone else or from a situation. When I go to this place, I feel so peaceful. When I do this activity, now some people might say about meditation, I'd say yes. At the same time, it's not that you need to be in meditation to be peaceful. And this is a strong awareness that we can have about our life experiences. Today, I'd love for you to sit for 5 minutes quietly, perhaps to quiet your mind and recognize how much peace and happiness is right with you. You don't have to go anywhere to recognize it. And I wish that for you today and for the rest of the evening. I guess it's Sunday night in Ontario. I wish you a fantastic week ahead too. And I hope you remember, transform your mind and transform your life. Have a great day, everyone.